Hello, good evening, everybody. Give a little bit of time for everybody to come in. Hi, Alicia. If you're viewing over on Facebook, hi, Margaret. How you doing? Can y'all hear me? Hi, Ashley. Y'all let me know in the chat if you all can hear me or not. Okay. Hey, Sonia, Samela, Najla, Bernetta. If you all are over in the Facebook group and would like to comment or ask questions during this presentation, it would be beneficial for you to come on over to the YouTube side of things. Hey, Nikki. Because on Facebook, I can't see, sometimes I can't see your name and I can't see the comments. So if you come on over to YouTube, I'll be able to see you. Hey, Mashonda. Hey, Paula. Hey, keeping it crafty. So I have gotten a couple of requests about this particular template. So I decided to go ahead and do the 2.0 like I did the 125 for those of you all who are familiar. Oh, hey, Chaka, you saw my baby. Yes, she is beautiful, ain't she? Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put in the chat um because I have posted this the template already. So for those of y'all after you watch me demo it, um it is currently available in the academy now. Um so um I want, let's see, this one said, let's see, going through these comments. Okay, how am I feeling today? I'm feeling pretty good. As you can see, I still am dealing with this condition. I think this is going to be more of a, they told me if the paralysis didn't clear up in the first 4 weeks, then I'm probably looking at more of 3 to 6 months. So I'm probably looking at the 3 to 6 months time period now because the first I'm in going into my 6th week of this right now. So but um through the help of a few people from the Facebook group, from the help of some support groups I've gotten in, I actually have gotten a lot of help as far as exercises and things to do. Um, so and I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better than I did at the very beginning, because in the beginning I was in a lot of pain and not really knowing how to manage the pain. So I've been actually managing my pain quite a bit better. I still have some bad days here and there, but for the most part I am doing better. I'm just ready for this paralysis to go away so I can get my face back. But you know, one day at a time, one day at a time. And thank you for that, Jay, because every day, some days I jump up and I'm like, I jump up out the bed and I run in the bathroom. I'm like, oh, is it better? And then, because I'll feel like when I first wake up, I'll be like, oh, I think it's back to normal. I'll, I'll run in, but I get discouraged sometimes, but most days I'm good. Thank you, Samantha. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Okay, so we got quite a few people on. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, and y'all let me know if y'all can. I'm going to make this big so that y'all can see that on the whole screen. And get started on this template after I send my kids a text message and tell them to hush because they all hollering the who let the dogs out there. They better put them up while I'm in here on this live. Okay. So I got that message to them to be quiet. All right. So I am going to show you all how this particular to show y'all how this yeah, they better put them back up while I'm in here on this live keeping it crafty. It's they loud. So I'm gonna show y'all how to flip this out. I'm gonna show y'all a couple of things. Um and show y'all how some of these adjustment layers in here work because this one isn't just a simple, pick the colors, pick the photos, change it out because in order to get the colors on these roses because when we actually go into these layers and we're looking at our um, roses, you'll see that the actual color of these roses is this red color. So we're having to affect the color that's on top of it to actually get it to be the color that we want. It'll generally be what we want it to be, but I'm going to show y'all that. So, the first thing that we are going to do in order to start with this is that I'm going to go to the stole and I'm going to change out the logo because my initial color is coming from my logo. So, I'm going to zoom in on here on my stole by picking the stole. And then I'm going to go to that logo on here. And I'm going to open up this logo. Okay, so pull this over here. And I'll go to my file that I'm going to demo from tonight. Okay, so we are going to be changing this out. And I'm going to bring this green in. And I this one particularly so I could show you the colors. So when I bring in my logo, I typically shrink it to whatever the size is of the previous logo that's there. And I turn that off and update that. I usually like to start when I'm doing my designs. I like to start on my all over shirt, but because this one doesn't actually have the logo on the front, that's why I started here. And now I'm going to pull that color um, from the logo. And then I'm going to go over to my all over so that I can start working and you all can see the colors better here. Okay, so for my roses on the top, I'm going to right click here and I'm going to go to where it says top background roses. Hey Rona. And I want you all to pay attention to where, when you click on these images and when you click on these elements in this design, this is our top background roses, okay? So all of these layers that are clipped down to this folder are what is affecting our color and our image, okay? So we're going to go in and we're going to change out. Right now we have this red color here. So our color 2 on this template is actually the main color. Okay. So I'm going to change out my color 2 to that green that I selected. Should be updated green. Okay. And then I'm going to close that out. Hi, Nyla. And I am going to try to keep an eye in the chat. Hi, over on Facebook. I had said at the beginning of the live for comments, and if you have any questions or anything like that, go ahead and come over to the YouTube side, because like right now I just someone said hello everyone, but I can't see who it was or anything like that, but I know somebody did a comment. If you come over to YouTube, I can actually see your name and your comments. Hi, Tarina. I will tell y'all that this one kind of takes a little bit of time because it is a really big um it is a really large file, not just um because the images and things that are on here are large files. So it does take a little bit of time to update, and it's going to take a little bit longer because I'm on the StreamYard and everything. So it's going to take just a little bit longer for some of these things to update. Hey, V. Okay, I have a comment that says Tina cannot hear me. Now that's on the Facebook side. I'm not sure. Can everybody hear me right now? Mm-mm. Hello. Okay, y'all can hear me. Okay. I know I have to wait a little bit because there's a little bit of a delay. Okay, so um, Anita, the difference between this and the Automizer is that this is what's called a smart template. So there are some similarities in that when I change out certain features, they're going to change everywhere. Um, but on the Automizer, you have several things going on. With the Automizer, it's creating your design files, your print files, and your mockups all at the same time. This does not do this. This just basically is our design file, and then we'll export the print file, and then we have to actually go to a mockup template in order to update the mockup. So if I hit this back, you can see that that green updated on all of these artboards. Okay, so a similar feature. That's a similar feature of um, the Automizer, but this does not create all those other files all at the same time. Okay. Um, so that's kind of the difference. That's the Automizer, and then this is a smart template. And no, you do not have to get the 2.0 versions of anything. You do not have to purchase anything that you don't want to purchase, actually. But Um, I do these templates because I get requests for different things. And a lot of times people want to work quickly and not spend the time to convert templates over. On the regular 173, you basically will just have this the all over, okay, and you'll just have the all over, and you'll do and if you wanted to create any of these other items, you can create the 13 by 19 shirt with the mask that's on there. But if you're creating any of these other things, you're going to have to actually go to those templates and create those. You would have to make you a board and then go and transfer the image to the yard sign and do all of this. This template does all that for you. So that's what the 2.0 of it is to give you a template that actually creates um, these items um, in the similar fashion that the Automizer does. But I've been creating both the skin packs and the smart templates, um, and redesigning some of the smart templates to update them to more current features. And so no, you don't have to purchase the 2.0. It's strictly a choice that you make. Okay. All right, so getting back to the template on here, I've changed that green out. Okay, so if you notice, if I just bring in that um logo, I'm gonna just bring that logo in on the top up here. Okay, so if I want on here to make this like a deeper green, okay, that's more similar to the actual green in here. So then I have to go to this layer. This is our green. And we have a couple of adjustment layers below it. Okay, first we have this hue saturation. And I'll just show you when you turn that off, the difference that makes. Okay, and turn that back on. Um, I can also click on the eyeball for this darker color. Okay, that makes it darker. I can click this um, to make it lighter. Personally, I prefer the darker color. And so that's what I'm going to leave it at. Now you do have also in the hue saturation, I'm gonna change the bottom roses as well so that you can see another change. Okay. Um, so let's see. Let's see. Okay. Hey E. Okay, so here we go. The bottom background roses. Okay. And layers that are clicked down to where it says bottom background roses. So there's a lot of layers on this one. And when you click on this bottom background roses, it'd be easy to go into these colors, but those are not the colors that actually affect this that layer, the layer of roses. It's the colors that are above it. Okay. So right now I have this the color 3 is on, and you can see that let's see, that kind of changed the roses, the little flowers on the roses, you can see. So now I'm going to do a different color. Okay. I'm going to do this color 1. And I'm going to go over here to my swatches, and I'm actually going to pick one of these team colors from over here. I'm going to pick the Packers gold and change that to that color. And like I said, some of these larger layers and these ones that affect everything kind of take a little bit longer to update. So we're going to just wait on that to update. And then this color is one that we'll have to kind of adjust the hue saturation. And I'll be able to show you on this one how this is different from the Automizer. So with the Automizer, whenever you go in and you are updating, say, the background, you update the background, and when you close out of that background, it changes for it changes for all the backgrounds, for all the substrates that you have. This smart template, um, while the color is going to change because we have a smart color here, it's not going to change so much as far as when I start messing with the blend modes and when I start messing with the hue saturation and stuff. Those items are not going to change on all of the artboards. You have to actually go to those artboards and change them if you want them to be the same. Okay, so that's the difference um with the um uh-oh. Background. Okay. So I had to turn on that color there. Okay. So you see that this yellow is not really the yellow that I want it to be. And that's because, like I said, the color below it, and this yellow is not all the way down on there. Um, it's not all that the yellow that I want it to be. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the darker color and the lighter color. Okay, I'm going to click on the darker color, and you see how that changes the yellow to that darker gold color. And then I can go lighter. Okay, so that's kind of more of what I want. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the hue saturation, and I'm going to go over here. I'm not going to mess with the hue and the saturation. I'm going to mess with the lightness. And you see as I go back and forth with that, it changes that yellow. Okay. And I think right about here is where I want that yellow to be. So that's how you start to change. But what you'll also notice is that I changed that, and it did change that yellow to the yellow on all of the artboards because that smart color changes it. Okay. But what it did not do was set this hue saturation. Okay. So now I see that I turned on my lighter color, and I adjusted my hue saturation to a lightness of -7. Okay. So now I'm going to have to go to each one of my other artboards, and I'm going to have to do the same thing. I'm going to have to change it to the lighter color. You see I'm on the stole, it's changing that. And then I'm going to have to go to this hue saturation and change it to a -7. And now I'll start having the same color. But I have to do that on all of the artboards. So that's the difference between um, the Automizer, because when you go to, if you go to the stole in the Automizer, if you changed it um on the main background, it's going to already be changed when you go to these other different substrates. So that's our difference. Okay. So I'm going to go to my hue saturation. I'm going to make that a -7, and I'm going to turn on my lighter color. I'm going to go to my 13 by 19. I'm going to turn on my lighter color, and I'm going to do a hue saturation of -7. So there's a little bit more work involved in doing it from the smart template like this. Um, let's see. In the back, I'll go to my bottom, turn on my lighter color, and do my -7. And lighter color, and the same here. Saturation. Let's see where we're at on this back. That's the other thing with this, is that sometimes, because it's so many layers, it doesn't always just jump from artboard to artboard. So you have to pay attention to where you're working at. Saturation, lighter color. -7. Okay. All right. So I've updated everything on the background. So now I am going to go change out my photo. Now you'll see that the photos will update on all of these, on all the artboards. I'm going to stick this inside of this folder where I already have the fade off happening. And I'm going to resize it to about the same height. Okay. So now you see that image changed in all of the places where photo 1 is. Okay. And then there's 2 photos here. So I'm going to go over here to the photo 2. And this is where I'm going to put my photo 2 at. It's embedded, and Okay. I think she had. So on the back for um the all over, there is the option while I have it where you, and then I'm gonna update on this logo, the stroke that's on here because it's a blue one on there right now. But you have the option to turn this logo off, and there is a foreground for the back that the second photo is on. Okay. So you have the option to have that back that has like proud mom or whatever they want to put on the back. It's already programmed for that proud mom or proud family member of the graduate for the class of 2023. So I'm going to keep the logo on. And I'm going to go back to my main screen here. So for each one of these, the words, you still have the options that have the colors above them where you can turn on the colors and it'll populate there. Um, and go in and change this name out. Go to Anderson. And also, I always think it's cool right here is the how the tassels change. So the colors of the tassels change with the primary color, the top color of the roses. Also, this metallic arch is a smart object, and you'll double click on that. And if you turn the color overlay on, you can change it from silver to gold. And because this is a smart object, it is going to change on all of the artboards. It will update. So there's a couple of extra things with this template because of how this template was created and the structure of the colors and all of that. There's a couple of extra things you have to do, like go into those different artboards. But basically, depending on what options you give your customers as far as pictures and things like that, you only have those two images to change out for photo 1 and photo 2 with this particular design. Unless you do multiple images, that's up to you. Um, Typically, when I put out like a design, I put out the design the way that I want them to do the design. And so, like for this one, I'll tell them they can have one image on the front, they can do one on the back, or they can do two photos. And if they're going to do any additional photos, they have to pay additional for the additional photos. So, as you'll see, the bar, the arch updated to that gold color on all of the artboards. Now here you do have to, like for the Automizer, when you change this text here that says Jada and Williams, it doesn't change that text everywhere. So you have to go to your stole and I'm gonna turn on my guides. Now this one still has all of the additional layers that I gave in the 125 2.0. for you to be able to do like the memorial and the text here, um, for the, for the school. And it has all those additional functions that the 125 2.0 had. So for those who are not familiar with that, I have some extra elements in for the stole. Because you'll get different requests. People, want their soul to be in memory of. And so I went ahead and added like this the remembrance elements in there, so that if you have somebody that has a loved one, it'll put this image there, and then you can put um their loved one's picture there in front of that remembrance element. That remembrance element is there for a couple of different areas. There at the bottom, and I also have angel wings in here, which you can't really see because of that white behind there. You would probably want to change it to a different um, color overlay so that you would be able to see it on a template like this one. But I do have extra elements in there for you to be able to do those little extras your customers may ask for. And so we have to go here. You to of course change the name of the school. Um, and you have to go to each one of these and change the name out. So smart templates are a little bit extra work, as far as when you're talking about comparing it to the Automizer. But the smart templates still are really quick for you to do and change out. Because if I wasn't talking, I'd been done with this already. So, and then there's your yard sign. And of course, you can change all the text to be whatever you want it to be. And like I said, on the back, you have where you can change that out. So once you've changed those elements and gotten your colors the way that you want your colors to be, um, like this one, I changed um, on my all over. I changed that to the, let's see, the top roses. I did choose the darker color. So on these, I would have to go to my top and change and choose the darker color as well so that it would be the same. Now on the stole, I do want to point out that there's two rows, there's two so is the top background, and then there's this layer here of roses because that layer is duplicated. So in order for them to be the same color, you have to do that in both places. Same here. Turn that darker on. Same here. Turn the darker on. And so when I'm doing my 13 by 19s, for the back, my customers have mostly preferred full bleed in the back. So for my 13 by 19 backs, usually what I do is actually cut the background off and I just have the foreground there where it's just the text. Okay. So you have the option when you're doing those 13 by 19 front and back. It's kind of like having just like the name and number at the back instead of having the full bleed. And for most of them have opted for the background not to be on the back. And again, that's a personal preference, completely up to your customer. So here, top, and put the darker color on. Oh, then once you've done all of that and changed out, make sure your colors match on all your artboards, then you're pretty much finished at that point. You know, it's just the choosing which background you want if you're gonna have a back for the 13 by 19, and um, which back you're if you're doing a back for the all over, which back you want to have, whether or not you want to have the logo or the foreground back, either way. So once I complete this template, what I do here is I go to File, Save As, and I usually save these as my customer's name. And I need to turn off these guides on the stove. I'll close up all of these folders. Okay, so when you go to export these files, the first thing you want to do is go to your socks artboard, and you're going to want to go to where the art folder is on your socks. And this is where we're preparing to go from design template to the mockup. Okay, so you want to go to your art folder. You're going to want to right click, quick export as PNG. And I'm going to go to my folder. And I'm going to do socks mockup and save. Save that socks mockup like this, then you're going to want to disable that layer mask before you export the files. Because when you export the files, you want to have the files in the manner that you want to print them. Okay, so in order to actually make the socks, you need to have that layer mask disabled, so that the whole entire sheet will print the way you need it to print to actually make the socks. The other thing that I do is I grab this foreground that's on the back, because like I said, a lot of times um, they don't want the full bleed on the back or the full background. And I go ahead and quick export that PNG as the um, as the foreground back. Okay. So before I actually export this, once I've done that and I make sure that all of that's complete, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export artboards to files. Okay. And I'm going to choose where I want it to go. That's where I want it to go. I'm going to make a new folder. Open that. I'm going to say okay. And then I'm going to put a prefix in of data for the dash. And I'm going to make sure it says artboard content only, that it's on JPEG at a quality of 12, and to include the ICC profile. And then I'm going to tell it to run. And so now it is saving all of those artboards into individual files that are ready to print. So we're gonna let that run. When it finishes, we should get a artboards to files was successful. And then I will go and open the um the mock-up and show you all the mock-up. And then I'll show y'all one other thing um as kind of like a bonus content for this live, just to show you a little bit further. Okay, so I did the first two as PNGs because, and I'll show you because I wanted them to have the transparent background. So that's the difference between saving as a PNG and saving as a JPEG. Sometimes PNGs don't necessarily have a transparent background. They can be a full image as well. If I had saved the all over image as a did a quick export as PNG, it still would have been had that white background behind it. But the socks mock-up, I wanted it to look like the socks. So I um I exported as a PNG so it can have the transparent background. Same thing with that foreground. I only wanted that foreground. I did not want um the background. So I exported it as a PNG. And when I get ready and I'm going into the other, um, when I get ready to go into the mock-up and to show you the mock-up and well, not actually on the mock-up. What the template that I'm gonna show y'all is my product listings template. Um, that's the template that I actually use in to make my product listings. So if any of you all are have a website or have an Etsy store, this particular template, the product listings template, actually allows you to take these same assets that you're saving, these same images that you're saving from your design file, and quickly populate them, and it creates all the product images for you to be able to take over to your website or to your Etsy store, wherever you're posting, um, and quickly be able to create those images for your designs. And that question came from the Facebook side. Um, I know on YouTube y'all might have been like, "Why?" We had that. Can you explain why I did the first two as PNGs and the other as JPEGs? And over on Facebook, as you can see, I can't see who it is commenting. If you could come over to the YouTube side, I'll be able to see who you are and address you by name instead of Facebook user. But that is the answer to your question. And while this is running, if there are any other questions that you all want to post in the chat, go ahead and post those questions. And again, all of this stuff, I know I keep saying that, but all of this stuff takes um, just a little bit longer, um, because I have quite a few things open and going on at one time. So it takes a little extra to export all of these. Okay, so Monica, for the yard signs, we use a company that's called Four Over to have the yard signs printed. For actually, let me see. because they actually opened a new website, and I don't think that um I don't know, but it's four over. It's the number four and the word over. It says, how do you flip templates into a different template? So, beta, let's see, flipping templates. When you say into a different template, what do you mean? Like into a different substrate? Like how do you make an all over into a yard sign, or how do you make um can you clarify what you mean when you say flip a template into a different template? Like go from one straight substrate to another? Is that what you mean? Like say I want to take this template and make a tumbler with that. Is that what you mean? Combining two different templates. That's from a different a different viewer. When you combine two different templates, you start out with one or the other. Like whatever, if you're trying to, it's hard to explain just by talking, but if you're wanting to combine two different templates, you have to have both templates open. You have to have both templates open, and then you have to choose which one you're going to start on, and then you have to start duplicating um, elements from one template to the other template. And that's the same thing with oh, okay. Okay, so she says taking one design from one class and flip it into 125 2. So basically, like how I have 125 2.0 and then I took it and made it 173 2.0. So you have to take the elements from the one that you're trying to, change it over, and you basically have to replace the elements that were there previously. So you duplicate, if you have four colors on one, you take the four colors from the other one and you bring it into the new one. You duplicate those layers, or you drag and drop those layers over into the 125 2.0. You take your background and you bring your background over, and you resize it and all of that. So you have to know how those layers work. You have to know how to resize the layers. You have to um, bring those different things in, and be able to resize them, because some of the items, when you bring them over, they're not gonna because basically if you start with like just a random, like, regular template, you're starting off at a 44 by 36 image, and then you're bringing that over. So say like for the yard sign's a 24 by 18 image. So you're going from a 44 by 36 image to a 24 by 18 image. So you have to resize all those elements. Sometimes your text is going to be distorted when you bring it over. Sometimes the strokes and the different gradients and the layers and things like that, they're gonna, when you take something that's really large and then shrink it down to something that's smaller, you're going to have to make some other changes in order for it to look the way that it's supposed to look. But basically, you just take all those elements and you duplicate them into the 2.0 template, and then you start resizing everything, removing your stuff. Now, you also, when you bring them from one template to another, they're not going to be smart objects. So those colors that are smart objects, you have to recreate them into smart colors again. All of the things that were smart objects, your photos that you bring from one template to the other, and then you put them on all 5 different artboards, you have to make those into smart objects, and then you have to duplicate those smart objects on the other boards. So it's that's why some people will just buy the 2.0 template, because it's a lot of work. Flipping it over, it's a lot of making sure that you're not messing with the structure, the initial structure of the original template, and that you're resizing all of those things and repositioning everything where it's supposed to be repositioned. So I hope that answered your question. Because smart objects in one template do not translate to smart objects. It like when you start out with the, like this one that's on my screen right now, you can duplicate it. Like, just say you were doing like you know the 204 template. Just say you were doing the 204 template and bringing it over. So there are smart objects in that 204 template. There are smart colors. There are smart objects for the photos. And even though it's going to come over the same size, the the 125, if you use 125 2.0, the smart colors from 204 are not going to just change into the smart colors from 125. You have to change those things. And then you have to change those on the stole. You have to update it on the yard sign. You have to update those in order for all of those colors to work together. So yeah, it's um it's a lot of work that goes into making the different the like the 2.0 template. It's a lot of work that goes into transferring a smart template over to the Automizer. We are still going to be developing skin packs for the Automizer, and still putting out, like, say, this design for the Automizer, for you all to be able to use this design in the Automizer. It's probably the next one that I'm gonna do, because this next probably 3 to 4 weeks I'll be focusing on just like graduation stuff. Um, but we also know that not all of our community has the Automizer. Um, and so we're trying to do both, give you the Automizer version and the smart template version. Some people have the Automizer, but their system doesn't really handle the Automizer well, so it's better for them to use the smart template than to use the Automizer. Okay, and there is my artboards to files was successful. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out uh, this and let that close. I'm gonna open. So with the 173, the mock-up is still gonna be the same. Okay. And so if you have the 125 2.0 and you choose to get the 173 2.0, it does come with the same mock-up because the mock-up is the same. But for those who didn't get 125 and you thinking about getting 173, um, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this out. We're gonna put our all over back right here. Delete was previously there. Oh, says it's saving 2 documents, so I might have to wait just a little bit for it to update. In the meantime, was there any more questions? Just need to hover over that, make sure my Photoshop wasn't frozen. It's just overworking right now. I guess I should have waited till it finished saving the other. I don't normally have these issues with it taking this long to save. There we go. All right. So there we have it update, like you see on the all over, the tumbler, the buttons, and the face mask. And then I'm going to go here to my 13 by 19 image. And you file place embedded or drag and drop. Here's my prints. I'm going to do my 13 by 19 front here. Say enter. I'm going to delete the other 2 that are there. And then the yard sign, image, file, place embedded. Here's my yard sign. Delete the other 2. 13 by 19 updates here on the shirt and on the fan. Let that fit on there. Turn and close that up. And here is where, when you asked about the PNG, this is a PNG image. So when I saved it as that PNG, I'm going to place that there. And I think I saved it. Here's my slots mock-up here. And as you can see, it doesn't have that. This is just a PNG layer. It's not a smart object. So I have to delete that one that said layer 1. And now I have my socks mock up there on my artboard. And then I'm gonna update this smart color to that green. And when I update that smart color to the green, it is going to update my title into the green, and also that border around the image for the fan. Okay. Um, so I go to my background, and I'm not sure if all of the background images that I have are in there and available for y'all. I know I put some of these in there. Um, but you can change the background image to one of those, or you can choose yourself a background image that you like and drop it in here. Um, Also, the regular 125 background is there with the grunge effect. So that is the mock up complete. Okay. So typically, if I wasn't talking through this process and my computer wasn't running slower, since I have all these resources going at this time, I usually flip out the 2.0 template, because I work in the 2.0 templates mostly. Um, and I usually, for one design, I can usually flip it out between 15 and 20 minutes, maybe less, for the from going from the design to the mock-up. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to show y'all, once you do this, you want to export your image. I do export and save for web, and I go to save, and I'm gonna put this here and put Jada mockup. I changed. Let me show you that part right here for JPEG. I put JPEG medium. Um, it just lowers the quality a little bit, because you have people that might want to try to snatch the image from your mock-up. I don't typically do watermarks and things like that. I just kind of drop the quality of the image and put data mock-up, because I've actually used watermarks, and they have programs and people have Photoshop skills to remove those. So, or work around them at times. If you wanted to outsource prints for all over, where or who would you contact? Um, so in we have a few people in the NA Academy group that do all over prints. Erica, our admin, she does prints. Um, I'm not sure if Corey is still doing prints or not. But I use Van Teresa. She's also in the group, and she's here in Houston where I am. And I get all my prints from her. I actually do all of my business um, through outsourcing my all over prints. I don't have a large format printer or a large format press, but we do a ton of all overs, and we outsource all of those. So the other thing that I wanted to show y'all is that once um most of the time I send this mock up to my customer. Most of the time what happens for me is that they then come back and say, "Hey, um my family wants to order. Um I have some people that want to order my shirt, or I have people that want to order from the mock-up. Um how do how once you get a question like that, and I say, okay, they say, how can I do that? How can everybody do? I need to take the order and give it to you. And previously, I used to do like manual orders where they would say, go to their family, everybody would go to them and tell them their sizes. They would either write it down on a piece of paper, take a picture and send it to me, or they would type it up and send it to me. Now, what I do is I go and I create a listing for them. I create a page for them on my website. Um, Let me see. So this is, I'll show y'all on my website. I'll go and I'll create them a page. Okay. So this is my website, and I'll usually put it under group sales, and I will make them their own page on my website. So now their family members can go to my website and purchase whatever they want to purchase. And they don't have to take the orders, they don't have to collect money. Um, all they have to do is give their family members the link, and they can go to my website and purchase whatever they want to purchase. The way that I do this is I take those same images from what we just did. You only saw the Photoshop screen. Oh, it might be because I'm sharing the let's see. I'm gonna stop. Let's see. Share screen. Okay. So can you see? You see my web? Can y'all see my website screen now? So this is my website, and I go in the group sales and I make them their own page. So this has Keith J. Rivers, and now he has a page on my website, and his family um, can go. And I leave it up for so many days, and then they take it down. Okay, so how I quickly can make all of these images is using the same images we just made to make the design. So I go here to, y'all seeing my Photoshop screen now, right? Oh, thank you, Samantha. Okay. So hopefully y'all are seeing my Photoshop screen now. Okay. And we're going to use those same images that we just used to make that mock-up are going to go um in the product listing. Okay. So if you watch, I'm going to do my all over front, and I'm going to do file place embedded. I'm going to go to my prints and my front and place that there. Okay. I'll turn that one off, and I'm going to close. Okay. Yeah, so this actual template is in my marketing class. This template comes with the marketing class. Um, I'm thinking about making it a standalone template in the academy. Um, haven't I gotta talk it over with Shannon first, but thinking about making it a standalone template. But this template is part of my marketing class. My marketing class, you get a ton of resources, including this template. There's a couple of Photoshop templates. There are Canva templates. You get some templates to make you an intro package to make you an intro package for marketing. So the marketing class basically gets you set up to um, market to sports organizations, to schools, um, to start bringing in more contract work than just individual sales. Okay. I will be teaching live my marketing class on the 26th of this month. Um, and when I finish this, I'll put all the links um, in the description. So it's two. If you want to take the marketing class with me live, you have that option. I'm doing that on the 26th. If you want the pre-recorded version of the class, you are able to buy the pre-recorded class. And I'm gonna put this front here. Now this is where um I'm gonna close this out. This is where you have two options. Okay. So when I was saying some people like the full bleed there, some people like the just that foreground. So when somebody was asking me about the why I saved it as a PNG, so you see where I'm dropping these images in right now. This is a full image that has that white background that's still attached to it. Okay, this is the JPEGs that exported when I did the export. This one, the foreground back, is the image that was that one that does not have the it doesn't have that white background. So it comes in with the plane in behind it and no background behind it. So that's the PNG version. And then it's the same thing. I go through here and I'm gonna put my socks in here. And like I said, if I wasn't talking to y'all, this is a very quick process. And this is another PNG layer. Um, as you can see, when I put that all over image in, it already updated my button and my tumbler. And when I put that 13 by 19 image, it already updated my fan. Change out the stove and the yard sign. And then on here, it tells you to double click and change the stroke. So right now you see there's a blue outline along all of these. I'm gonna double click on this. I'm gonna click on stroke. I'm gonna take that color and I'm gonna make it that green. And now that updated all of my ribbon flags to the green border. And then I am going to change my smart color here to the green. And that updated my border around my fan there to match. Okay, so once all of these are done, okay, now all I have to do is do the same thing I did before, which is um, export artboards to files. And then I'm going to go to browse, and I'm going to go back to where I want these to save. I'm going to make a new folder for, rename that, product listings. Go into product listings and say okay. Data, same thing, JPEG and 12, and run. Each one of those is going to be converted into a JPEG, and now all I have to do is go to my website, duplicate the listings that are already there, and and change out those images that are there. And then I give them the link to, y'all can see my website. So then I go here and I just give them, do share this page, and I copy that link and I send it to whoever requested it, and now they can send that to their family members, and their family members can order directly with me instead of them taking a bunch of orders and me having manual stuff, this is a much better process. So, for those of you out here that are doing this type of work, if you don't have a website, I urge you to get you a website, start your Shopify store. We actually will be having, if you don't have a Shopify store, we're going to be having our Shopify challenge with Shanon. It's going to be April 3rd through the 7th, I think, is the next challenge. Let me look and see. Yeah, April 3rd through the 7th is our next Shopify challenge. And what that is that Shanon actually walks you through creating your Shopify store. You get a template that has I don't know, Anita. I've never like hidden the page. I have a section that's for group sales. And I I keep these there for a certain amount of time, and then I turn it off. So I've never tried to like have it hidden and them go to the page. I've never done that. So I don't know. But I will say this. I did this group sale. In my group sales I did for a basketball youth organization for basketball. So this is the page for them, for that they ordered all of their shirts and socks and things for the league. Okay, this was the page where I sent everybody to buy their products. I did not. I still have the page open, but what happened is that when, I guess, like, from Google or something, I don't know, people have found these socks and people have been ordering these Lakers, the SU, the UT. They've been ordering these socks from me, like, and that have nothing to do with the youth organization or the basketball league that I did this for. And I didn't realize that until I went to fulfill went to start fulfilling them because I was like, we did all of this stuff for these, and it was some open orders for some of these products. And I started looking and it's like, oh, this is going to Alabama, this is going to Mississippi, this one went to Austin. Like, so I don't know. It brought in more sales and people to to my website. So I'm glad it wasn't hidden. So once let's see. So now it's successful. So it created all of those images. And the reason that I have them like this is that when you go to my page and you go to say one of my all over listings. Let's see. So I do the images this way so that people know what front only and front and back means. Because a lot of times, what people think when you say for an all over shirt that it's going to be the front only, and especially when they look at the price, when they say, if you say the front only is 55, the front and back is 65, right? They'll say, "Oh, I just want the front." Because what they don't understand is that the back is going to be all white. They think that the back is just not going to have a design on the back, like their name and number or whatever, like the foreground on the back. They think it's going to still be like a green on the shirt because they think that the shirt starts off as some type of color when it doesn't, because they don't understand the process that it is to create an all over shirt. They don't know those shirts start off as all white. So the reason I give these visuals is so that when they actually click on those things, um, they'll see that, and I have, descriptions on my website to say if you choose front and back, this is what front and back looks like, this is what front only looks like. So that's why for my product listings I put these images there, and I actually will link them to, when they make the front and back choice or the front only choice, it'll pop this image up that shows them that, hey, this is what front only looks like. Okay. So those are the things I wanted to show you, how you can go from the design to the mock-up and then actually go to list these products on your store, in your store. You can use those same images if you have the product listings template. So, and right now, like I said, the product listings template is not a standalone template. We may change that. It is part of our marketing course. So, all of the people that have taken the marketing course, if you, um, y'all can see I've done some updates to the product listing template. I am going to put the updated version in for those of you who've already purchased the marketing course, because it wasn't all of these images. And when I first did it, I was doing it from working with the Automizer. So I had the images here, um, from the Automizer. You still have that option to just populate the mock-ups that are produced from the Automizer in there, instead of actually going through and putting the actual files in here. But I kind of find it a little bit easier just to go ahead and get those files and the JPEGs and drop them in there. So you still have both options. But that's what I wanted to go over with y'all tonight, was to show y'all the 173 2.0, and the difference between the regular 173 and the 173 2.0. The difference between the two is that the 173 template is just the all over template. Okay. And from that all over template, you can do the all over or you can do the 13 by 19 version from the regular 173. From the 173 2.0 actually has the all over converted to the stole, the the yard sign, and the fan. Okay. So that's and it gives you the back of the all over with the foreground to change out that um actually has a different back that you can put on the back of the all over or the 13 by 19. So in the original you only have the foreground, which is the front image, and the 173 2.0 has the front image and the back image. Okay. So those are the difference between the regular 120. Now the 125 template, 125 2.0, well the 125 regular template has a stole that's already that's what the template is, the stole and the matching shirt. Um 173 was just the all over image. So I went ahead and translated that into the other images for you. So in this industry and in especially for me, time is money. So if you don't exactly know what you're doing in order to flip these templates out, it would be beneficial for you to get the 2.0 version if you want to create all of those different images and different products. Or and if you're not, yes, Morticia, that is true. So that's one thing that we're working on is converting all of them for use into the Automizer. Is to convert all of the earlier templates and actually every week, once we get caught up, we have a lot of things that we're working on right now. Y'all know with Shannon is developing an app, and so we have a lot of things that we're working on behind the scenes. We have gotten some help in to start helping with some of these processes and converting these things over. But eventually, all of the smart templates will have a skin pack that can be used in the atomizer. Um, and ideally, every week when we have a class, those templates ideally will be made into skin packs as well for the atomizer. Okay. But those are all things that are work in progress. Like I said, um it takes a lot to convert some of these things, some of these templates over. If you all recall, Shannon went through the process with you all of taking a smart template and converting it over for the atomizer. And Shannon, with all of the expertise that she has and know how of doing that, it takes her about an hour to an hour and a half. And same for me at this point with converting a smart template over into the atomizer. Um, so, um, so I didn't ever recommend a specific laptop. I didn't. We just give the minimum requirements for Photoshop, what Photoshop requires. Um, and it's a minimum. And I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. Let me pull this up. I know that the minimum for um is like 16 gigs. So we recommend Okay. So this is the minimum. This is the recommended. So we of course would say go with the recommended. We would of course say go with the recommended, which would be no smaller than the 16 gigabytes for your RAM. Um, check with your graphics card. And what I do whenever I go to like get a new laptop, I grab these recommendations and then I tell them what I'm trying to do. If you go to Dell, HP, Best Buy, any of those people that carry the laptops, you can actually talk to them about what you're doing, what you're using it for. Um, it says at least a 50 gigabytes of available for hard disk space. I definitely would recommend more than that, especially with what we're doing, the files that we're using. Um, but these are minimum recommended, minimum and recommended for Photoshop. And the thing that I recommended was a place called Discount Electrics, and they are in Austin, Texas. Um, you can go and pick like a base model and then add, because they do refurbished systems. The last few computers that I've purchased from them, and I have not had any issues. Um, so, um, yeah, so it's Discount Electrics in Austin, Texas was the place that I recommended, but I didn't recommend a specific laptop. And I'm trying to go back through some of these comments that I may have missed. Can I do a video showing how to change the DPI and save a document in CMYK? Okay, so that's when you do um, the initial setup of your like the image that you're doing, like when you go to make a new document in Photoshop, you choose those settings from the very beginning. um you're still trying to figure out how to print the socks from the mock-up. Okay, so you cannot print the socks from the mock-up, and that's what I was showing in the um that's what I was showing. You don't want to print the stocks from the mock-up. So that's when I was showing. If you go back in this video, I don't know if you were here when I actually did the design template, but when I was discussing about exporting the files, okay, when before you export the files, you want to save your mock-up as this PNG. Okay, that's your mock-up. But there's a layer mask that's on the art layer for the socks. You want to disable that art mask, that layer mask, because when your socks print, you want them to print as this full image. You don't want them to print as the shape of the socks. You want this whole image to print. Okay. So when this prints, we actually take that and we do what's called the taco method, where we fold that print in half. We put our sock on the inside of that and then we press on both sides. Okay, you need the full bleed. So that's why I was saying you want to get the mock up for the socks by enabling the layer mask, and then you do that PNG. Then you disable that, and that will give you this full image there. So the what I'm going to be doing these next few weeks is this is going to be our graduation series, and I started it out with this. Um we're going to actually do a live, me and my daughter, where we're going to go through each one of these items, and we're going to show you how to press a stove. We're going to show you how to do the socks and pressing it all over front and back. Now, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do. I might go ahead and do the tiling and show y'all how to do the tiling. I ain't gonna promise that, but I will probably have my all over prints, and then show y'all how to press one from an all over print. But I will go through actually showing you how to go through and print these items, the print the stole, print the socks, and also pressing them. And we'll show you how to press using the buddy for the all over. And Ebony will show you how to do the press of the stole using the buddy. And also, depending on what size heat press you have. So on the buddy, we use the 16 by 20 heat press. But Ebony prefers, she likes the 16 by 24 press for the stoves. So she'll show you a method for both where she presses the stoves on the 16 by 24 press and will press the stove on using the buddy. Okay. So that these next 4 weeks are going to be us really showing you the resources and that we have in the academy for your graduation projects. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be doing my marketing class on March 26th. um it's already listed in the academy. On April 9th, I'm going to do an Automizer course, where it's going to be the party favor atomizer, but I'm going to have a new product in the atomizer. It's going to be a custom gift box for you to be able to use any of the templates that we have or designs that you create in the atomizer, um, to create a custom gift box that matches your product that you're putting out. And that's going to be on April 9th. Okay. So these next few weeks are going to be um, dedicated to graduation. So y'all make sure you have your notifications on. You make sure, for both the Facebook group, if you are not a member of um, the Facebook group, come join us on Facebook and get your notifications on for our group. Um, and yeah, so thank you, Janice. I'm trying to get y'all prepared and get you all as many resources as possible. And if y'all comment in the Facebook group, we have a couple of polls up of things you may like to see, things you may want, things that you're maybe interested in. Um, so, if you're having any issues with some of these things, if you don't know how to, it's just like, we have the, like for here, I populated this mock-up with the all over image for the Tumblr. And I'm gonna go over with y'all doing the Tumblr. So I'm gonna show y'all how to make I did do a button. I did a button demo already. So I don't know if I've done a button demo twice. So I don't know if I need to do the button demo again. Okay, so on the 26th, it's gonna be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the class on the 26th. It'll be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Um, and for any of you who have purchased any of the other yard signs, um, I will do the demo of just doing one of the yard signs. And so the yard signs, we don't actually physically make the yard signs. The yard signs are outsourced. Okay. We outsource the yard signs to the company called Four Over. It's the number four and the word over. We outsource the yard signs to them. We do have the demo of the fans. If you look at the YouTube channel and put in like graduation fans, I did a demonstration of the grad fans. So I did like the demo of doing the template, and then I went back and I actually uploaded one complete video of me doing the grad fan. So that is on the YouTube channel already. Okay. And all of my classes that I do, um, all of the classes that I do are usually going to be on Sunday, like the special, the I guess the live classes. I teach live class for the academy on Wednesday nights. That is for academy members, for our VIP and platinum VIP members. Okay. I teach that class every Wednesday night, and those are templates that Shanon does weekly. And then my classes, the weekend classes that I do, that are like the more specialized courses, I usually do those on Sundays at 4 Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to try, I'm not going to say that I am, but right now I'm scheduled to start doing the Saturday class other every other Saturday right now. I definitely am going to do it for this period of time for graduation, because I just want to give you all as much support from me as I can. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, go. You can, and there is the pre-recorded class is available. And it has all of the templates and everything are in it. You just don't get that one-on-one, talk to me, ask me a question and all of that. But the pre-recorded version is there for you to purchase if you don't want to wait till the 26th, or if you have a conflict in your schedule. There is a pre-recorded version of the marketing class available, because I've done the marketing class two other times. I will tell y'all that probably starting in May, even for the ones of you who have taken the marketing course, I will be doing like a marketing class part two, because as I grow and as I continue to learn and as I continue to get information and knowledge, I want to share that with you all. So I will be having like this was a marketing 101 class. This will be like marketing 102. So it will be new content, new templates, and all of that. So I thank you all for staying on with me tonight. And if you all don't have any more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live. How can we become a printing vendor? Okay. So like I said, Shanon is in the development of her app, and we are going to start taking applications for printing vendors. If you do sublimation printing, if you do DTF, um, any type of outsourcing printing that we can offer, we will be starting to take applications soon to um, start approving people to be approved printing partners the academy. So just be looking for that. All right. Okay, well, thank you guys. I'm going to go ahead and let's see, go ahead and end this live for tonight. I'll just let y'all see my crooked face before I go. Anyway, um, yeah, so thank you. You're welcome, you guys. I love doing this and I love providing information for you all. I love providing resources. And this is a much better way for me to do it, to do, the group at one time because my time is limited. So thank you, Janice. I'm still struggling with that part of this. I never have considered myself to be like vain or about my looks, but oh, has been a struggle for me. So, all right, you guys, you have a good night. Thank y'all for staying on with me. And I'll be doing another one of these very soon. So, see y'all then. Good night.